Any questions from today? We picked back up with the red zone install, and I thought overall it was pretty good practice. Guys were competing pretty good.
Sean, even though Ian Book, I know he had an interception in 7-on-7, one thing that still sticks out to me is his accuracy. He's made a lot of good throws. I mean,
yeah, look, I think he's doing well. There's a lot being thrown at him, but he's handling it. I think he's processing the information. He's getting out of the huddle, and I've been encouraged with what he's been able to take. And usually it's a lot, when you get to the terminology. But he's handling the installs, and we'll keep working with his development. But yeah, he's made some plays each day, and today was no different.
Before you drafted him, his accuracy, was that something that?
No, look, you saw it. You saw a guy that was comfortable in the pocket, outside the pocket, and he knew how to win.
With the continuation of that install, what improvements did you see today?
Well, look, I the second time through it, there were less mental errors. I thought you saw a little bit more offensive execution than we did the first day, and I thought we played with a little bit better speed.
Sean, Will Lutz put out that he's going to need surgery. Was that the reason he started on NFI, or is that
So he started with a core muscle strain, and then last week it progressed some, and so rather than wait, we're going to go ahead and have that done right away. And I don't have a time frame. I didn't see his PR announcement, but that's where we're at with it.
So I guess you're probably going to have to realistically work out some kickers and get someone else in for the first.
Yeah, at some point.
Games.
Yeah, at least for the preseason.
Sean, when you talk about accuracy, it seems at times you struggle with deep balls, whether it's been underthrown or more. Just you have the guy over maybe 2-3 yards, just missing him. Have y'all talked about just putting more air under the?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that can happen sometimes. We're in this /full speed mode, and yet sometimes there's not pressure, but there can be a pocket in his face where you can't follow through, and it's generally when you see one of those underthrown balls and you go back to the end zone copy, he's not able to finish on a throw. But both those guys, I think, should be able to handle the deep ball part of the game. And we look at it and we get to see, was the pocket clean or was there a space to throw it? Obviously, you want to get the air out and let a guy go run and make a play. We've had a couple of those though that have come off to the inside if it's an outside throw, or fell short. One specifically today.
So has this offseason been a little bit more challenging than some of the ones in the past with Onyemata and Mike and Will Lutz?
No, look, I'll be honest with you. Every year, there's that saying, it's always something. So it's part of when you deal with a roster of 90 people. You're going to have things that come up, and no different than when the season begins. The same thing takes place. So you get programmed to deal with those and then quickly find solutions in the meantime.
Sean, I know last week you talked about communication and how good it is from the top down. If a player, Michael Thomas, sent out a tweet, do you have to worry about a player kind of doing things in social media and fracturing the communication, or how it affects the rest of the team?
Look, we're focused on our guys, and obviously we're focused on Mike getting healthy. But outside of that, it's never been an issue.
Do you want to address anything he insinuated today?
No, I don't want to have a press conference based on social media.
Sean, do you anticipate playing your starting offense more in the preseason so you can get a more thorough evaluation of both?
We'll have a list of guys. What we do every year, this year will be no different. We'll have a meeting, and we'll go through every player on the roster, how many snaps do we want them to get. So it won't be the whole unit. There'll be some early outs. There'll be some guys that we need more reps from. We're working in 3 segments right now, and we'll have that meeting middle of the week relative to this game. So I don't see that being any different.
But I guess as it pertains to evaluating quarterbacks, I guess would those two maybe play more than you typically would
Yeah,
play?
both of those two are going to have chances to play, and you know the actual snaps will decide.
Does losing a preseason game change how many snaps you play some guys?
Well, look, it removes snaps from a lot of the down the line players. That's the first thing I think of. You know, when you're playing in that fourth game, you have a lot of guys competing for roster spots. That's going to happen in 3 weeks now, in 3 games rather than 4.
Sean, what have been some of your impressions of Christian Ringo?
Pretty good. You know, there's been some good snaps on tape. Obviously, these games will be important for him, and you know, as a coach, you're anxious to see how these guys compete when you get another opponent and how they handle game situations. So, but overall, somewhat positive.
So, from the standpoint of losing that fourth preseason game, and I think last year you didn't have any, so you made it more competitive in camp. Do you have to do that to get that evaluation from those down the line?
Yeah, look, we're going to have X number of opportunities that are scheduled out, and you know, some days are going to be a little bit more physical relative to the practice than others, and all of it gets factored in. You know, you can't control the game lost, but we'll know, hey, what is it we need to work on? What are the periods we need to work on? And then, you know, most importantly, who do we need to see more of?
Do you know what's the possibility you'll have to use more than one roster spot on the kicker? Just, you know, with a reliable guy.
Say it again.
So like you just had one kicker. Obviously, Will's really reliable, so he'll be out. Then you're looking at a possible new kicker. You need to use maybe what's the likelihood of using more than one roster spot on the kicker, like making it a competition versus just shooting one guy off.
Yeah, I think look, we have enough reps where I don't think we'll use 2 spots necessarily, but we'll work a couple guys out. We'll work more than that if we need to. We'll have a long-term plan and a short-term plan, and I think relative to Will's surgery, I don't think it's an extended process, you know, based on the history with that type of injury, but each one's a little different.
Sean, there was a moment where you talked to the team. Were you putting them through a situation there, like
There's a couple.
a learning situation?
Yeah, there was 2 today. You know, we went through the 2-point rules and PAT, making sure they understood the difference from the 2-yard line to the 15, and then what penalties do to impact that. You might be kicking a PAT, the defense jumps off sides. It's a penalty. You may choose now to go for 2 on the 1-yard line. Defense can block a PAT. They can score 2 points. If they make an interception or recover a fumble on a PAT point after, you know, from the 2, they can score. You know, just kind of not taking anything for granted, going through exactly the point after try. And then later, I think at midfield, we had a period that was devoted to slot in base and slot and sub and explaining that. Just trying to be pretty thorough relative to what the emphasis is in that period.
Is it something you do in the team meetings too, and then transfer it out to the
Yeah,
field?
it'll be installed in the team meetings, but then, you know, the coaches all have the script. We all know what the situation today was, and when you look at the script, it says point after try. Let's go through that thoroughly with everyone so they understand it. Defensively, how we can score. Offensively, you get a penalty for celebration. Now you're kicking a field goal from the 30-yard line, and God forbid you had to go for 2 late in the game. You're now on the 17 trying to score as opposed to the 2, and just the ramifications.
I know you may have obviously been busy with your own team. Did you watch the Hall of Fame last night? What did you think of Payton's speech?
I didn't, and I have them all taped. I want to watch them. I've heard about a number of them, and I'll usually watch them all, but I didn't have a chance to see any of them last night. I look forward to listening to them here in the next couple days.
Sean, a clarification. Are you going to put Will on the reserve list, or are you going to keep him on the 90?
We'll see. Right now, we'll see. In you know, probably initially my thought is on the 90, but we'll see where we're at. All right. Thank you.
than it used to be.
All right, let's do it.
You know, how you feel like camp's going so far for you?
I think it's going well. I'm having a lot of fun out here, and just trying to be as fun, trying to just learn as much as I can. It's a great group of quarterbacks, and they've just been helping me out on everything, and at the same time with them helping me out, we're all competing, which is what it's got to be like. And just having fun out here, absorbing as much as I can, and truly learning a lot.
What did you see in those 2 touchdown throws in the red zone there? 2 strikes there.
Yeah. Just a big red zone period. Coach Payton was no turnovers, no sacks, be smart with the ball. We obviously have a field goal, in our back pocket. So that's what's on my mind. But we ran a nice little stick nod off the safety, which was perfect. It was my first time running that play. So just wanted to look off the safety, and I knew Juwan, he was obviously having a great day today and a great camp, and he's somebody I really like throwing to. So just had to get in the end zone there.
Are there moments, I'm sure when you went from high school to Notre Dame, it was a little bit eye-opening. Are there still moments, obviously, in practice where the speed or something kind of startles you a little bit or kind of says, wow, that's different?
Yeah, it's the NFL. There's a lot of growing to do, for everybody, as a rookie and as you go on. I've had those moments. You can't be late. It'll be a pick and it'll go the other way, that's for sure. And maybe in college you might be able to get away with it, and especially in high school. But just got to be on time. You got to know where your checkdowns are. It's huge. You got to understand where everyone's got to be. And honestly, I try to think of it as, what the defense is doing. What are they trying to accomplish in their coverage? That's the biggest thing, and that'll help me get through all my reads quicker. But yeah, I've had a few moments like that. Good and bad, obviously. I think you come into this league and you're going to have a few of those moments.
It's only been 10 days of practice, but how do you feel you have grown through these practices?
I feel like I've grown a lot. I actually texted my coach back at Notre Dame, was like, we could have done a lot more at Notre Dame. I have 10 days here. I just feel like I've grown so much, trying to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. These plays are longer, saying it to the huddle, taking command. The defense is disguising more. So a lot in 10 days. It feels like it's been longer than 10 days, but just truly enjoying it out here. It's a true blessing for me. Just having fun, competing every single day, and I've learned a lot, and I've already grown a lot, and it's only been 10 days.
How much did playing in Chip Long's offense really prepare you for this?
Yeah, a lot. I had 3 coordinators at Notre Dame, so I got to learn 3 different systems. All 3 were pretty different, and then coming to this system was, it's more different than everything I've been through. A lot more under center work, which is good for me, just to help expand my game. But playing with Coach Long and under Coach Reese, I learned a ton. They were very different offenses. I feel like we ran a lot of RPOs, which I really like to do, with Coach Long. And then with Coach Reese, we did a lot of tight ends, 12, 13 personnel under center, which got me, ready for coming here.
What's the biggest challenge in this offense for you? Like coming in
right now, yeah. It's about taking command, knowing these plays, they're longer. In college, we're doing all these signals, and this time it's real quarterback position is what it is up here in the NFL. Learning it, saying it to everybody, taking command so they know that you know what's going on, and then just playing fast. Really playing fast, understanding 1, 2. If it's not there, check down. And our running backs can do a lot of things, as you guys know, obviously here, getting the ball down to those guys. It's a smart play. It's a great play. You don't need to force anything. But I just want to take command, be a leader out there.
Is the volume of the language and the volume of just the sheer offense been a challenge? Just how much is in that playbook?
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm spending a lot of time. That's what I spend most of my time on. The plays are really long. So I want to know them all. I want to say them right. I want people to know when I get in the huddle that they know that I know what I'm doing. That's how it starts. I can't go out there and run the play if I don't know where everybody's going. So just in 10 days, going through all the installs, and we've put in a ton of plays, so it's all new for me, but I'm already feeling that much more comfortable. I remember what I felt like on rookie minicamp. You feel like the 1,000 plays are in there, and I already feel a lot better about it. So got a lot of work to do, though.
From a pretty young age, like playing football, was accuracy always something that you really focused on? Being a more undersized quarterback, is that something that you have to pay attention more to timing and accuracy and
100%.
different aspects?
Yeah,
of that?
I really take pride in my accuracy. I always say, like, being able to extend the play and my accuracy. Just feel like since a young age, it's been able to get me to where I am today. You know, being accurate, not just completing the ball, but putting it in a place where they can actually catch it and make a play with it. I grew up watching Drew Brees because he does exactly that, and honestly, that's somebody that I've looked up to, and I want to play like him. So, got to be accurate. It's more than just completing it for me. You know, got to be hard on yourself.
I was just about to ask you about that. Have you even had a chance to talk with him, or maybe even get some advice from him?
Yeah, I got to text him before minicamp. Just told him that we kind of ironic. We switched spots a little bit. He went to Notre Dame. Obviously, he's going to do broadcasting there. So I got to tell him, you know, excited for him doing that. And then last week, you know, he was in town here for a second, so I got to talk to him for like 30 minutes. But I know he'll be around here probably a lot. So got a lot of questions for him.
A couple practices ago, you were over there, we witnessed it. We had a lot of conversations that day with Ronald Curry. What are some of the things that you guys are talking about as practice is going on?
Yeah, taking mental reps. You know, there's obviously a quarterback competition going on here, and you know, I want to be ready, and I want to be able to run a play that, you know, maybe I haven't even ran before. I just want to be ready for that, you know, if my name's called. So just every single play, he's reading the play to me, I'm reading it back to him, taking a mental rep, looking at it, you know, what's the defense doing, where should we have gone with the ball, stuff like that. So he's helped me a ton. You know, I'm new in this offense, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm up there with him every single day, so he's helped me a lot.
As far as you mentioned the length and the verbiage, I mean, everybody had to take a foreign language in high school. Is it somewhat parallel to that, or not quite that extreme? Like
I would say football's football. You can only do so much, and everybody does it, but it's just the way you call it. So, you know, we run very similar plays at Notre Dame, but it's just called something completely different. So you got to flush everything that you learned at Notre Dame away. You might even have formations that are the exact same. They're called something different. That's just kind of football, and I've learned that very quick. So it's definitely different. There's something about like having a rhythm with what you say. You know, you want to say your play, or say your formation, say your protection nice and clear. Then you go into your motions, then the play. So there's a way of actually saying it so that guys can understand it. You don't just go in there and mumble it all off as fast as you can, and everybody's confused. So, yeah, it's kind of like a different language, but football's football at the end of the day.
Is there an aspect to, I'm sure Taysom and Jameis are kind of still learning parts of the offense. I mean, I'm sure they don't have it down pat like Breeze and Sean Payton did together. I mean,
yeah.
Is there an aspect of learning with them that can make the transition a little bit easier, just given the fact that they're still learning in some capacity?
I think they know it really well, but even with that said, the amount of time that they actually spend with me, helping me, I don't think that would happen everywhere else. You know, it's a special quarterback room. I've already noticed that. You know, we've got guys competing for jobs, and you know they're taking their time. You know, they're willing to help me out. But to know it like Drew Brees is obviously pretty hard. But these guys, they know it. You know, they know it. And every time I got a question, there hasn't been a time where they're like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on." They know it. So I think that helps me a lot. They're confident in it, and then they can tell me, you know, what I need to know.
I got to ask you about the pump fake play.
I mean, not trying to do that. I guess I got big hands, so it works sometimes. You know, Drew Brees, I've been watching a lot of his film. He does a lot of this, you know, and it works, and it helps you be, you know, that much more accurate. But a few times out here, I was gonna throw it, and then something happened. It's just a reaction, and I pulled it back. So got lucky.
I mean, that's almost like your Nerf ball. I mean,
I know.
That's
I'm not trying to do it. The pump after that, I was trying to do. The first one a few days ago, just kind of happened. Just kind of a reaction.
How much film have you watched
of Drew? Every day, yeah, because every time we're putting into play, he's the one running it, you know. So, but even before that, in college, I probably had like 3 or 4 quarterbacks I love watching, and he's one of them. So it's just ironic how I ended up here, but I've watched him a ton, and he makes throws that are unbelievable. So it's fun. Makes you want to work harder. Makes you want to be that much better.
Who are some of the other guys there? You said Drew, but who else?
Oh, that I watched? Yeah. I like watching Russell Wilson a lot. I like watching Drew Brees, Baker Mayfield. And if you go back a lot, I like watching Brett Favre. So it's kind of my guys to watch a little bit.
Is there a meaning to the wristband?
This one?
Yeah.
I got a ton on. I got 2 Notre Dame ones on. They both say Notre Dame number 12. I have never taken them off. And then I got this one here. It's humble over hype. I actually got it right when I got here from one of the guys in the locker room. He had a ton of them, so I just took it.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like
no.
Behind it or...
Got a ton of them on. I haven't taken them off.
Do you remember who it was?
Yeah. Who gave me it? Yeah, Shaq gave me it. Yeah, Shaq had them. I don't know if he had a deal with that company or whatever, but he had a bunch of wristbands, and I like what it says, so I was like, I'll wear it. Good?
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, thank you.
Over here, X out.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Christian, how's training camp going for you so far? You feel like?
It's all right. It's decent. Just taking it one day at a time.
The guys in the D-line room, do you guys kind of know there was like an opportunity going into the season, just knowing that David's probably going to miss some time, and you're rotating some new players in there?
Well, you know, not speaking on David's situation, each year is different, you know, so we just got to go out and compete and give it our best.
What have you done anything in particular? I know you've been in the league for a couple of years now, but is there anything that you've kind of changed to try to put yourself in this position, just kind of keep going? How do you kind of describe it?
Just living in the moment, taking it one day at a time, one practice at a time, taking coaching, relying on the techniques that's taught to me.
Is that hard, like a hard lesson to actually learn how to do that, you know, and focus on just being in the moment?
No, football's football, yeah. You know, just got to get locked in.
Have you picked up anything from Ryan Nielsen? That's helped you. A lot of guys talk about how good of a teacher he is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think taking his coaching has definitely elevated me a little bit.
Is there anything specific that, you know, kind of really he's helped click for you?
A lot. Everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Everything. He's very detailed, so I say everything.
Chris, it's a little special for you to be this close to home?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's special because, you know, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. You know, this is our pro team that a lot of guys root for, so it's an honor to be here.
That pick you had the other day, it looked like you were doing some high stepping.
just saving the legs, just working on the motion, getting the knees up. I should be a lot faster than that, though.
Have you had a pick six before in your career?
No, I had a scoop fumble, 41 yards. I was out of breath, though. Yeah. It's not fun.
Where was that?
Louisiana, Lafayette.
All right. Thanks, Christian.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. CJ, you ready?
CJ, where'd y'all put y'all's confidence level right now as a defense? Seems like y'all were really getting after it and kind of letting Jameis know. Yeah.
It's been like that. It's been like that since we started camp. That's
Yeah.
for the whole team, not just defense. We gotta wake them up. They was already woken. You know, they starting off on a good foot, but we got to get back into our element as defensive players and just enjoying the game and enjoying being out there. So I think barking at them a little bit today woke them up. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much are you looking forward to Saturday for a chance to get somebody else and play against somebody else?
It's game week. I'm excited every day. It's game week. So, I mean, I'm ready. I can't speak for the other 100 people on the team, but I can speak for the guys that I'm in the same room with every day. I can tell you we're ready. So, I mean, from the day, it seemed like everybody was all on one accord on both sides of the ball. So, I'm just ready to get going and start knocking people out. That makes sense.
CJ, what makes Marshawn Lattimore a special player?
I don't think I got an off switch. He's the same guy every day. So seeing the intensity level he brings, the practice, everybody wants to be in his shoes when it comes to main ball player, but it's also the process he puts to be in his shoes. So it just make us go 10 times harder. With him being like the starter room, you know, we got to feed off him. So, and also pick him up. So when he's feeling like he's not on today, you know, we got to make sure that he stays on. But those one of the guys that you can just gravitate around, just keep studying from and just learning from, because he's one of the best corners in the league right now.
We've asked, it seems like everybody, about the quarterbacks that you go against them every day. Just maybe your general thoughts on what you've seen from those two guys so far.
It's really all of them. Not really just two guys I've seen. We've seen the whole group because I'm out there practicing every day. So that's a different perspective. I feel like the whole quarterback room doing good. That makes sense. From Jameis to Taysom to Bookie and to Trevor, I feel like
that four has like a nice little bond that's keeping them all at the same confident level. So it's a process. You know, I don't know too much about offense, but I mean, it looked good to me.
What made you start calling Juwan Johnson Baby Megatron? Just what
Oh,
you
you're
seen out of
bullshit.
him?
I'm messing with him.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you, it's just Twitter. I'm just having fun.
what are you seeing out of him out of camp so far? It seems like he's.
I mean, he's doing everything Coach tells him to do. I mean, he's out there practicing to get a lot more reps. So, you know, he's one of those guys that we always got a lot of trust in at the wide position. So, I mean, I'm ready to see him compete this weekend. That's all. Let's see what he do.
CJ, you obviously know how to push people's buttons on the field in a very unique way.
I don't like people.
Was that something that you've always?
I don't like people.
Just don't like people.
I just don't like. I don't like the other side. Put it like that. So if you put it like this, when I go out there, I don't try to start nothing. I just don't like the other side immediately. So if we play Baltimore, I don't like them. It's just a switch. Like if you was on A reporting, I wouldn't like you. Why are you talking to me? Just another.
Do people start the smack talk, or
That's on them. I put them in the hole once they start.
But you enjoy the banter, I guess, right?
Not really. I just play football. I don't get why everybody think I just talk trash and don't back it up, though. I don't know. I think I got to keep showing y'all. I don't know.
See, I don't think people think that you don't back it up. I think they think you employ a psychological component to your all-around game.
I employ when it's necessary. I don't try to put like this. My main focus is to handle my job. That's to cover the receivers. When the talking starts, I mean, it's football. I mean, if you get in your shell after that, and I still keep pecking at the shell, it ain't my fault. I'm here. I mean, I'm here from first quarter to fourth quarter. I don't say overtime because they don't make it overtime.
Has anything about the way your defensive teammates respond to your personality on the field?
Yeah, they keep it up.
Surprised you, or did you expect them to?
Nah, talk your shit and play football.
Yeah.
Play football, then talk your shit. Put like that. Excuse my language, but that's how it's supposed to be. Right. When you beat somebody, I mean, you gonna let them know about it. Like Coach said, if I'm playing thumb war, whatever it is, I'm trying to win. I don't care what it is. Like, I'm here to win. I've been with 2 years now. I understand the process that's been installed here before I got here. So if you ain't on board to win and be gritty and fight about it, why are you here? Why are you on my team?
Have you sensed this sort of contagious element, though, to, not stylistically, but it seems to, your demeanor on the field seems to cause your teammates to
turn up,
thrive on it.
Turn up,
yeah. Maybe more confident.
Turn up.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Did you expect that? Is that the point of it, or is that just something that you do naturally? You know what I mean?
I'm just natural. I know what's real and what's not real. Put like that. So if I tell somebody it's fake it, hey bro, walk back around and come back and come holler at me before you come talk to me. Cause my mind's already focused on one thing. And my teammates' minds focused on one thing. So I just got to bring that extra element. Okay, if you ain't feeling that, I'm going to spark you up a little bit. If you're not coming along, okay, maybe you're going to get it as the day go on, but I'm going to be the same me. You're going to notice that routine every day. I mean, I may be in my modes, you know, but I don't get caught up in too much anymore. You know, it's about football.
CJ, do opponents try to challenge you and
bring
more that you've developed this reputation? They try to...
Yeah, I don't know. It don't work. It don't work. I mean, it works when I beat myself. So when you look at it from a film standpoint with coaches, you'll see times where I got my mind, but that's a process, like you said, the mental philosophy that you got to bring in with yourself, with me, and I know yourself. So I just know when I go out there, it's a limit you go until you got a job to do. So I just handle it professionally. So we are professionals, right?
Has Sean talked to you about that at all? Like not crossing the line? Because I know he always wants his players to keep the.
He only said to me on game day. All right, no, when it's coming, he understands it, but for the most part, he don't say nothing to me.
He's pretty crazy on game day himself.
Yeah, we stay away from each other. We stay away. I'm good. I ain't messing with you today, coach.
The last 4 years, you all have been kind of a Super Bowl contender, kind of a hunted team in this league. Does it feel a little different this year? Like maybe.
Yeah, it do, but it feel different. When y'all was the same to us, cause we know our mentality. So we're not here to be average. If that makes sense. So every year is mine is to be on the Super Bowl. Like we already preparing for the Super Bowl. I don't care if you're 100 guys on the team to 53. We're already preparing to win. We don't We got the whole, what is it, NFC, what is it, NFC South Conference is it? Got the whole, you got to look at the schedule. You got to set yourself up for success. You got to prepare like that. So I feel like looking at the schedule we got from preseason all the way to the end is going to mentally test you. So everybody can say, oh, man, Super Bowl ain't been here yet. You don't know who a Super Bowl is a contending team. So right now it's about putting the pieces together and being able to work with each other and just figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. But that's what counts for, and that's what practice for.
But you all never fly under the radar here, it seems like. I mean, you all have always been a high-profile team. It feels like you're all under the radar a little bit.
I don't never feel that way. I mean, they put up these projected records, but it don't mean nothing. Got to go out there and play every Sunday. You don't count me returning starters or who go where. You got to play football. Got to play football, bro. That's it. If you fly on the radar and playing football, that means you ain't in for the wrong sport.
Do you feel like now that you're going into your third season, I mean, players evolve, sometimes become more influential. You know what I mean? And I was curious as to if you could reflect a little bit on how you evolved as a player.
I say watching football, I've been influenced by a lot of people. Well, I think the more I got into the league, I influenced myself. The only challenge I got mentally. So it's like the more I push myself to understand the game from how others' perspective and how they carry themselves daily, I just carry to my game. I'm trying to be the best. Honestly, want to be the best, and I know I'm going to be the best. So it's like adapting to my teammates, like you said, that influence that you get from the vets, coaches, past coaches, like you gotta understand what's in the room and what's in your face right now before it's gone. So I feel like the past 2 years, I feel like my experience has been great and my involvement has been fine. So I just want to keep improving and taking it day by day.
Oh, but I was wondering in terms of responsibility, like sometimes when you first come in the league, players will really be focused on just figuring out what they have to do, and then after a while,
I ain't figuring nothing. I'm on the road. Let's go.
Yeah. So now, do you feel more responsibility for as a locker room figure and on the field for your teammates and so like has that evolved at all? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I did. I'll be the same person.
Yeah.
My role is to play football. It's gonna be the same until I retire. Until when I start worrying about all this other, that's too much thinking. It's too much thinking. You gotta focus on your job. Focus on what you gotta do. That's what I'm focused on. And I ain't worried about too much right now.
Thanks, CJ.
Thanks,
We're going to have Lil'Jordan now, guys.
Not much, just hanging out.
Almost didn't recognize you. Haircut.
Yeah, got it chopped off like a year ago.
Oh, it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
What was the thought process behind that?
Just ready for a change. I don't know, I had it for 7 years, so just ready for a change.
It wasn't the Louisiana Heat, was it? I mean, you used to it in Texas, I guess.
No, it wasn't the Heat, even though it's different in Texas, but no, it wasn't the Heat.
It looks like you slimmed down a little bit. Is that true, or is that just my imagination?
No, I definitely lost a few pounds, leaned up in off seasons, just working on, be able to move a little bit better. So yeah, I lost a little weight.
Was that a plan? Was that a goal, or did it just kind of happen naturally?
It was a goal.
Yeah.
I came in big, and it was still kind of chubby last year, and wanted to lean down a little bit more. So yeah, it was a goal to lose some weight.
Does it help with speed, flexibility, both?
It helps with a lot. Just speed, flexibility, being able to change directions. It helps with everything, honestly.
You feel that paying off in camp, just the way you've been able to go?
I feel like it has. I feel like I've had one of my better camps since the 3 years I've been here. So yeah.
What did those first 2 years teach you just about being in the NFL? Just whether it was being kind of up and down at times or even being on the field? What was kind of the biggest moment, biggest lesson for you?
Just I need to work on my craft a little bit more. I think that was the biggest thing. I just need to learn how to work and actually be a pro. And being around guys in that locker room helped out a lot.
What do you mean by that? Like route running, like technical stuff?
Like just technical stuff. Yeah. Like being detailed as a receiver, taking care of your body, just all the little small things that go into it that people don't really think about.
Yeah.
You were coming out of camp last year. Did you feel like you had done enough to make the 53-man roster?
Last year I felt like I feel like I had a chance to, but you know I didn't, and I knew I had an opportunity to be on the practice squad to develop some more and possibly get play, and I ended up playing. So I mean, I feel like I had a chance to, but I wasn't really worried about it because I got an opportunity to develop a lot more and get better.
So it's just one of those things where you like swallow your disappointment for like an hour, and then because things happen so fast, like by the next day you're already kind of
yeah. I mean, like it hurt. Again, you know, having to come in and get cut and go on the practice squad, but you just gotta swallow it. And it's like, okay, like I'm getting that chance to get better, and it obviously believed in me, so I was happy about that, and just came to work every day.
Do you think not having any preseason games last year played into that, and how excited are you that you have preseason games again this year?
I mean, I don't know if the games played into that or not, but like I'm happy. Like I get to showcase some skills this Saturday, and hopefully I do a good job and do my job.
Hey, Lil'Jordan, what do you think about the start to camp Quez has had? It seems like he's just like got a lot of belief in himself right now.
Quez been killing it out there. I mean, he's believing in him, and coach, we believe in him. He's just been going out there balling, being himself, honestly, and he's showing that.
Yeah, he legit looks like somebody who like kind of believes he's like the number one receiver.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think it's a guy in there who don't believe it with him. You know what I mean? So like he just got the confidence, and he just keep going and getting better every day. So yeah.
What's it been like sort of just watching Jameis and Taysom, and how they're kind of different, I guess, as far as their styles of leadership?
I mean, Taysom is kind of like the guy who's gonna really come up to you, talk to you. Jameis is a little bit more out, vocal. But I mean, it's not really a big difference. They both are great leaders, you know what I mean? So it's just being out there and getting connection with them, and so communicating with them, so we can be on the right page. So like I said, they're both great leaders. So.
What do you think about Texas trying to become a member of the SEC?
I think it's cool. We got a lot of rivalries going back. That's gonna come back, like game against Arkansas, game against A&M. So I mean, I think it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna help us out a lot with recruiting.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,